Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. And as you can clearly see directly in the title, we have what some people want to say ding dong ditch gone wrong, where you have teenagers, kids deciding that, late at night they want to go knock on, neighbors' homes or ring their doorbells and just, have a good riffing laugh, right? And obviously they happen upon the wrong house. And as a lot of people like to say, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But more so, my main question would be, why is it that you're out at 3 a.m. doing this, right? Not at a 9, 10, 11, nothing like that. It's more so way, way later. So let's take a look at this video and see what's happening.
Tonight, an investigation into a weekend shooting in Spotsylvania County. The entire community is debating the details of a case where three teenagers accused of breaking and entering a home on Mackenzie Lane were shot at. Two of the teens were shot, one of them a high school senior. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder explains why this story is drawing so much debate.
Is this the case of a homeowner defending their property legally against potential burglars? Or is this a case of a TikTok prank gone horribly wrong? Maybe it's even a little bit of both. These are the questions prosecutors here at the Spotsylvania County Courthouse are trying to answer tonight. And at the heart of all of this mystery and all of the speculation taking place on social media, a teenager is dead. And his family tells me that their lives feel shattered. 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr. was a senior at Massaponax High School in Spotsy. His stepfather says Michael played lacrosse, football, and he wrestled. But at about 3 a.m. Saturday, just hours before the high school prom later that night, Michael was by a homeowner on Mackenzie Lane. The homeowner, who has not been named nor charged with any crime, says Michael and two other teens tried to break into their house. News 4 knocked on the door of the home, but no one answered. Tonight, the Spotsylvania County Commonwealth's attorney is reviewing the evidence to determine if charges are appropriate or if this was a justifiable shooting. But here's where this story takes a turn. So there were three teens involved. Michael was a second teen, 17 years old, was grazed by a bullet. While that teen was in the hospital, detectives interviewed him. He said, "We weren't breaking in to try to steal anything." He told the detective they were doing ding-dong ditch pranks, recording them as videos. They were going to post them on TikTok. So that detective went and found the third teen that was involved. That teen he wasn't injured in any way, but that teen had the exact same alibi and even said, "Here, take my cell phone. You'll find a video that we recorded at a different house doing the same prank earlier that night." The Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office has not said.
So we heard that, right? So let me just give a shout out real quick. So shout out to Tethanator, Pink, Ishmael. Much love, respect, and appreciation to Brand New World. Here comes a new challenger. Tethanator said he's black, he can't defend his property, and he should be grateful to have his property. Brand New World said there is no doorbell in the backyard. Yo, what is up, Sham? What is up? What is up? What is up? And shout out to the $4 donos to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Let me see if I can find something real quick, right? Because we got something from 4 hours ago. Maybe we can get a little bit of a update. All right, one of the teens is in the hospital. The long-running game involves knocking on a person's door. I'm not sure why they got to explain it because people know what it is. They said that Butler was charged with second-degree murder, malicious wounding, and 2 counts of use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. He was arraigned on May 7th and is set to have a preliminary hearing on June 18th. So there you have it. And I think they also noted that you had neighbors that were, calling, saying certain things as well, too. Because, again, this is I want people to know, this is at 3 a.m. in the morning. At any point in time in my life that I've ever done this, it was never at 3 a.m. I'm not out at 3 a.m. doing anything like, especially when I was in high school. If we were out at 3 a.m., we were going directly to IHOP. Right? We might have been just driving around downtown Detroit somewhere. Right? We might have been going to and from, friends' houses because we're up there playing video games, staying up late. Oh, let's go to 7-Eleven. Let's go to Krispy Kreme. Let's go to Coney Island. Let's just drive around. Right? We're doing stuff like that. We're not thinking like, oh, let's go to our neighbors, houses, and at 3, 4 a.m. let's start knocking, on it. 3, 4 a.m. people are asleep. Like those are hours grown adults are asleep. People got kids, people got work, people got mortgages, people got like, ain't nobody sitting up there like thinking, oh, those dastardly kids are at it again. No, this ain't the 1950s, 40s, whatever it is. Like this is not it. This is not Pleasantville. We're not dealing with Leave It to Beaver. We're not there. So if at any moment in time you hear some type of noise coming from the back of your house, like immediately at 3, 4 a.m., you thinking that somebody's trying to break in, somebody's trying to rob you. This dude had every single right to defend his home. Nobody told these kids to go out there at 3 to 4. Like who raised them? Who raised them? Nobody told them to go out at 3 or 4 a.m. Oh yeah, we're going to sit up there and do these pranks and TikToks. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's it. That's it. And then on top of that, again, why would you be going to somebody's back door? So that means that you had to jump the fence? You had to climb onto somebody's property instead of walking up to the front door where you could be caught on Ring doorbell footage. You went to the back. And then y'all both wanted to sit up and say, oh no, it wasn't nothing nefarious. We weren't trying to break in or nothing like that. We were just doing this stuff on that's a likely alibi. That's a very likely alibi. 3 of y'all, and then y'all all play sports as well too. So you got some stature and weight directly to. Yeah, nah, I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. Not even happening. Not even happening. Like that's crazy. That is crazy. Diabolical. Crazy work. Sham said 3 a.m. is either an emergency or a robbery. Yeah, it's probably robbery. Brandon V. World said knocking on people's doors. Now he's knocking on heaven's door. That's bars. That's bars. Sham said, don't kids still have curfews? No, not if you're Caucasian. You don't got a curfew. You can just do whatever it is that you want. You can just go out there, go into people's yards. And like I said, you're young, white, 21 and free. You can just do whatever it is that you want to do. And I promise you that there's going to be people online saying that these kids did nothing wrong. It was harmless. It was, it was all a joke. And, it shouldn't have come to the, I promise you, you got people online body blocking for those kids. And like I say, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Everything that you see somebody do on social media is not up for you to do. Just because it worked for that person does not mean it's necessarily going to work out for you, as we can see. As we can see. And as we proceed to give you what you need, right? Crazy work. Crazy work. Ishmael said, who does that at 4 a.m.? I don't know, because I never did. I can tell you that I've never done anything like that. Never. It was always like, some 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 o'clock, right? But of course, kids are still out, street lights, all of that, right? But like I said, I don't know what to tell you. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It be what it be. So instead of going out there and hoping that your kid is going to have a great prom and sending them off to college, you sending them off to heaven. It's some crazy work, diabolical in nature. It's crazy. But anyways, let's continue.
You don't need to be throwing stuff. You don't need to be throwing stuff. I said don't talk to me because you're not. No, you guys need to. You are not allowed to come back. No. Okay, y'all are gonna allow her to call my 15-year-old child.
So let me just catch people up to speed. So pretty much you have this restaurant, this establishment, not sure the food that they're specifically serving. You have the family here. So you got the husband, you got the wife, and then they said that this is their 15-year-old daughter. Okay. And then you have the two workers that are in the red shirt, right? I'm guessing the tall one there with the glasses must be the manager. I'm guessing. So what inevitably ended up happening is that the 15-year-old decided that she wanted to call the black woman there directly out of her name. So then the black woman responded and said it back to the 15-year-old. And the mother wanted to sit up there and be like, oh, so you're just going to allow this woman to sit up there and call my daughter out of her name. But did you not hear your daughter say anything to the worker and call her out of her name? So you're just going to let that slide and you're going to decide to get mad? And this is when you saw the father overreacting. I just want to put hold on, let me just go back to this with these theatrics dealing with the father. Why are her hands orange? Are those gloves? Like what's even going on? Like were they throwing food? Hold on. Let me just get this straight. Let me no nobody eats like are you savages? Who eats like this? Like I'm trying to figure like if anybody's been to the doctor, you know when they're trying to like clean like a wound or an area before they do surgery, and you see like this orange, reddish, brownish type stuff that they normally put on the area. That's how her hands look. I'm like, dog, what were you doing? What type of savagery were you into when you were just with like the food? Like that don't even make any sense. Like I wish somebody would have recorded like the whole thing. Hopefully they got security footage because I would love to sit up there and see this because I really feel as though that some food was being thrown because there's no reason that your hands look like that. Even if you're going to a seafood boilery and you're eating with your hands, usually they give you gloves, but your hands are not going to look like that. Like that's crazy. That's the look of somebody that was just like grabbing food and just like tossing it and just throwing it. Right. I didn't spot that the first time that I watched this. Right. So then we sit up there, we keep looking, and then you see the father just overreacting. So I just want y'all to pay attention, right? So you basically got three women, well, four, I'm sorry, four women basically having this whole thing. Well, I'm sorry, not four, three women, and then the other one is a 15-year-old, right? So you got all three of them females having this type of back and forth, all this other type of stuff. The father is the one that's sitting up here acting, throwing a tantrum. Like that's something that you would expect. I'm irregardless on how people basically feel. That's something that you would really feel a woman would be doing. She get called directly out of her name. She about to start tearing up the joint. Like that's just what's going to happen. We've seen it millions of times directly on social media. So it's not sexist if I decide to sit up and say it. Again, I can pull up footage if need be. Right. But he starts flipping tables. And I looked through the comment section and somebody made a very good point. They said that they started something so that they wouldn't have to pay a bill. Because I'm like, as a grown man, you're a father, right? You're not dealing with a man that decided to call your daughter or whatnot that's addressing your family. This is a woman, and your wife is addressing that woman or the women that are there. So why are you sitting up there flipping tables and doing all of this? Like I said, they're broke. They don't want to pay nothing. They don't want to pay nothing at all because this right here, this makes no sense. Nobody swung on you. Nobody hit you. Nobody did anything to you as a man. And you're acting this emotional. And you're the father. You're the head of the house. You're the leader. So I can clearly see why it is that the wife and the daughter are acting the way that they're acting. Why their mouths are just the way that they are. That's crazy. If this is the type of leadership that you have directly in a home with women, yeah, it's no leadership. It's no leadership at all. That's crazy. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. But like I said before, and the other thing I want to sit up there and list, which is crazy to me, never at my point in time in life, if I had a 15-year-old daughter, she ain't walking out the house like that. Let me just let you know. You're not, there's no mid-drift happening. You're not about to be sitting up there wearing shorts that's coming above your knees. I don't care how that sounds. You're not doing that. We're not doing this here. We're not doing this here. That's a whole problem directly within itself. But like I said before, you're dealing with Latins, so they got a whole different culture in how it is that they tend to manage their kids, let them dress and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, there's a multitude of things basically wrong. I'm just going to sit up there and say multitude of things wrong, but you know, like I said before, this is how people want to sit up there and get down. How people want to sit up there and get down. Hopefully, some charges get pressed on the people there, because after everything was said and done, we can clearly see, I'm guessing, who was the manager going directly to the door. And who do we see directly in the doorway antagonizing and running her mouth when the parents are walking away? We see the 15-year-old. I believe every single thing that the worker stated. If your 15-year-old, quote unquote, is at the door trying to antagonize, trying to rah with a grown woman, yeah, the workers did every single thing and more that they said that 15-year-old did. I fully 100% believe it. None of those workers lie. I'm 100% behind the workers, because that's crazy. And then let me show you how more emotional this gets, right? So then, as the workers going to the door, right, because the 15-year-old is talking mess. So you see the 15-year-old, she moved over to the right. So she's talking directly to the mother that is in the front. And then by the door, the reason that the door keeps opening and closing from the outside, that's the father hitting the worker with the door. Again, this is something that you would expect a woman to do, being emotional. You have a man doing this. This is what a leader does not do this. An actual man does not do this. Especially, you're not going to do this to a woman like that. That just makes no sense. So you're like, I can't sit up and put hands on her, but I can sit up there and push back and forth with the door. What are we doing? What are we doing? Somebody file charges. Call the police. Send them the footage. Get them arrested. Like, this is crazy. This is 100% crazy how it is that they are acting in this establishment. Like I said, it makes no sense. Crazy. But let's continue.
That Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick rapist that must be stopped.
Attorney John Harris revealing the accusations against Motown legend Smokey Robinson.
I will not describe the details of the sexual assaults and rapes because they're too graphic and disturbing for this news conference.
All four of Robinson's alleged victims have chosen to remain unnamed and are referred to as Jane Doe in the complaint.
Our four clients have a common thread. They're Hispanic women who were employed as housekeepers by the Robinsons, earning below minimum wage.
The accusations against the music legend include sexual assault, sexual battery, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment.
We're seeking damages of $50 million.
The complaint also claiming one of the Jane Does was first sexually assaulted in 2007 and that these acts continued until she resigned in 2024. According to the complaint, Robinson's former housekeeper claims in the lawsuit that she was sexually assaulted not even 2 months after she started cleaning the couple's Los Angeles mansion. Another Jane Doe claims Robinson started sexually assaulting her in 2016, claiming when she was home alone with the singer at his Los Angeles mansion, he would text her and ask her to meet at places in the house that didn't have cameras. The woman alleges he would then sexually assault her.
We do have evidence of some of the misconduct.
The complaint says the former employees didn't speak out or go to police because they were afraid of losing their livelihood, familial reprisal, and the possible adverse effect on their immigration status.
And having to tell their husband and children of these despicable acts against them left them overwhelmed with shame and embarrassment.
Robinson's wife, Frances, also named in the lawsuit, accused of creating a hostile work environment and being aware of what was alleged and not doing anything to stop it.
These four courageous women want and demand justice for themselves, and the filing of this lawsuit is the first step.
The complaint also accuses the Robinsons of not paying proper wages. And we reached out to Robinson's record label about these allegations. We're still waiting to hear back.
So I had to relist that because I'm like, it's just a bit crazy. And I wanted to say a little bit more directly on this. This further goes into the aspect of where people say that they will make sure, the system will make sure that black men will, if they get to a certain amount of wealth or I guess you could say prestige or whatever it is, that they will make sure that they will leave with an asterisk next to their name. That they will make sure that no black man out here that makes it up to a certain point will not be able to leave with a clean slate somehow, some way. And this is you clearly looking at that at this moment in time. And the craziest part is he has, from what I'm at least able to assess, his wife is Hispanic, Latin, right? And then you have these Hispanic women deciding that they want to all, we're going to come together, fight for, ourselves and, get $50 million directly out of it. That don't make no sense. So you, like I said before in the video, so you mean to tell me that y'all let this happen for about close to 20 years? You've been driving from your home, leaving your family and your kids, driving from your home, going to his place, quote unquote working, but also getting targeted at the same time, leaving from that place and then going back home and doing it every single day for 6 days for almost 20 years. And then you want to turn around and sit up there and say, enough is enough. I'm going to sit up there and sue you. I want people, like I said before, I want people to pay attention. They're going for a lawsuit, $50 million. They're not going to try to put this dude away in prison for life. I want people to understand, because more than likely there is something there of which they know they wouldn't be able to put him away for, because it would prove that if anything, let's go on a theory on if things did happen between consensual, adults, everybody's grown, everybody makes their own decisions, everybody consents to whatever is happening, that more than likely these women who have been stated to be married, have a whole family and kids, may have been sneaking off and having relations with a rich man. And usually, going off a theory, when these situations tend to happen with rich men happen to break them off a little bit of money. It's like, let me sit up there and give you like a bonus. Let me throw you a few thousand real quick. Let me buy you some nice jewelry real quick. Let me, buy you a car. Let me pay for a trip, for you and the family, right? Because you did such a great job at the house, right? Like I said, I would love to see a list of all of the assets that they have been able to get or acquire over the last 20 years. And I want to see if any of those can be attributed to Smokey Robinson, because if they were, then that would mean that they were paid for whatever it is that they were doing, on top of the fact that they were working directly at the house. Some crazy work. That is 100% some crazy work right there. And I'm trying to figure out, because usually when things like this happen, I tend to tell people like, yo, usually somebody's trying to buy something, somebody's trying to invest, somebody's trying to do something that may be upsetting a lot of people in the background. And in order to, usually, primarily when it happens to be black men, when they want to showcase who's in control, they happen to put them in the limelight. They'll be like, you got a little bit too close. You're doing something we told you not to do. Bam, we're going to throw this directly on you. We're going to have all of these accusers. Because somebody has to explain to me, why is it that primarily and only do I see black men out here always getting accused? And it's not like black men have been in the music industry longer than white men. We haven't. They literally have the whole corporation. They got the laws, the rules, the regulations, all of that, right? But for whatever reason, the face of any and all of this is primarily and only black men. And I'm like, that's a little bit weird to me. Right. So we, again, we go past like Elvis and all of these other, legends directly out there, right? Axl Rose, huh? We're gonna go past them. I think you might have had somebody in Twisted Sister as well too. A while ago, I did some videos detailing some lyrics. It was about probably over 4 years ago. Did a long video detailing rock lyrics from back in the day, and how those are very much problematic, because they were talking about some actions that should not have been taking place, because ages may vary. And I'm like, so nobody's talking about this? Nobody finds this to be a problem that they're openly talking about this? Like, we even there was a rock video where you had somebody can, if you're old enough, you know what I'm talking about. It's a white guy literally singing outside of the bedroom window of a teenage girl. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me that this was out there in the open, in the face of everybody, Nobody batted an eye. Nobody said nothing. You're not going to deep dive or look into any of those guys who made that music, made those videos, or anything like that. You're not going to look at any of their fan bases and go back and ask any of those young, impressionable teenagers, girls during that time, like, hey, did anything happen, whatnot, or whatever? Did you go to such and such? You're not going to ask none of those questions. But magically, when it deals with black men, for whatever reason, hey, there's always some type of accuser just out the blue. 20 years later, it's a familiar thing, because isn't this the same thing that happened with Cosby? Decades later, people wanted to come out or come back out and have a re-go at it. It's crazy work. And then it's amazing how all of that died down. It makes you wonder. It makes you question a lot of stuff. And like I said, it happens to be one black man after another black man after another black man and after another black man. Seems way more than a conspiracy. Seems deliberate. Seems deliberate. But hey, it is what it is. You gotta have somebody black as the focal point so that everybody else can skate away and do the things that they want to do. Just like with stealing and shoplifting in a lot of these stores that have been closing down all across America. It'd be like that. The face of it has to be black so that people will just focus in on that while everybody else can come through and do the shoplifting. Trust me, I know the actual people who decide to go out there and shoplift, because I know somebody who works with losses, whose job is to go after those who are stealing and shoplifting. So, crazy work though. Crazy work. Anyways, let's go to the next one.
Convicted in their belief. And so, to Jack's point about using some of the lie detection technology, particularly for eyewitnesses, not only can we put information in without blowing up your brain, we can put it in and then you can believe it so sincerely that the problem is you can testify to that effect. And in fact, we've seen this in a number of ways. The police were doing lineups where the suggestibility of the information was so strong that people would later identify a person that they'd seen. For example, you show a picture lineup and only one person has on a jacket and nobody else does. And then when you go to the live lineup, because your brain triggered that there was something different about that person, you identify the person who you've just seen, but not realizing that it's because of some difference. And then you've seen them twice, and now you're asked to testify as an eyewitness, and you're so convicted about having seen that person commit the crime, even though that person's utterly innocent, that it becomes a planted memory. And so there's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. And in a different context, one of the emerging areas that's really interesting in law neuroscience is pain detection. And once we understand the circuitries that cause pain, I guess the question is, could we then instill pain and use that in many coercive measures in the legal system as well? So.
Wow, that's amazing. Did you want to add anything, Brian?
So you heard that, right? That woman that you heard speak stated that they have the ability to implant false memories, right? So when you happen to look this up, they happen to tell you, yes, false memories can be implanted through various techniques, including suggestive questioning, misinformation, and even through the influence of other people. Research has shown that even minor suggestions or misleading information can lead individuals to recall events that never actually happened. Look at that. Interesting. So just imagine, right? And they're openly, talking about this directly there. And the woman, she was happy. She was smiling from ear to ear. She was like, "Oh, can you guys believe it? Like, yo, we can actually put lies into people and they won't even know it. And it's not going to overload their brain or anything like that. And we've mastered how to be able to do this." So when I sit up there and tell people that psychological warfare and all of these things are real, and it is happening, I mean just that. Literally every single day, stuff like that is happening, but people tend not to pay attention. wanna actually, learn about some stuff. People just think that everything is everything, and I'm like, nah, it's not. Some of the stuff that you may remember may not actually be your memory. It may be something that somebody placed directly there. And then she went into the whole other thing talking about even when it deals with something such as pain and everything. Like I said, it's a whole deep thing that nobody's actually looking at. But it be like that. It be like that. You know, it be like that. You said they don't stop the Mandela effect. Yeah, that was a whole nother thing. Like I swear to you, that was a whole government experiment. Because I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that the cornucopia that used to be on Fruit of the Looms, like that was there. It was on the white tees, the underwear, all of that. That was actually thing. You got people like, no, that was never there. All this. I'm like, I don't know where you came from. I don't know who you are. I'm like, are you real right now? Because I'm like, nah, that was always a thing. The same thing with the monocle dealing with the Monopoly guy, the exact same thing, right? But it'd be like that, and that was a whole thing. That was literally a whole thing, and I'm sitting up there like looking at it, and I'm like, yo, the government's doing some great work out here. I'm like, I'm not sure what they doing in the background, but I can't see it at the moment. But I'm like, the government is doing some great work at this moment in time because that was going for about what, a good year and a half, 2 years almost. That was a conversation off and on that would be happening throughout the months and whatnot. That was one of the longest running ones, other than the whole topic of what was the main topic that was going on for like some years with relationships, the whole like 50-50 bringing stuff to the table. Yeah, that was another good one too. Like I said, and that's how I look at a lot of this stuff now. Like, of course, I'll sit up there and just bring it up just because, but looking at a lot of the stuff when it happens, I'm like, the government they're doing some grand work at this moment in time because everybody is literally just focused and distracted. And I'm like, I can clearly see like there's some open room. I can't tell you specifically what's there, but I know that there is something behind this. It's crazy, man. But a lot of people tend to believe that the government has the best interest for them, but yet they're out here telling you that, hey, we don't actually care, and we're going to do whatever it is that we want to sit up there and do because we can do it. And to prove it, we're going to give you the information that you thought we were doing and factually prove that we've been doing it, and you're still not going to do nothing. And I've continuously been seeing the government do this time and time again, and nobody says nothing about it. I'm like, this is crazy. The government several times has told you, like, yeah, we lied to you, and here's the truth that you already knew. Here it is. And everybody just sits there, but like, okay. I'm like, word? That's what we're doing? I'm like, this is crazy. Oh man, this is crazy. But again, I guess they're doing it to hopefully get a type of reaction to see where people are going to specifically go so they can gauge things. And this is something that I talked about years before too. That there's going to come to a moment in time that the certain truths are going to come out, and they're going to try to gauge how it is that people react. If people react a certain type of way, then they can enact and do certain types of things. If people don't react, then they got to go right back to the drawing board and really force and push something out there that's going to be so jarring, that's going to make everybody literally react chaotically, right? And again, that's what they're looking for. And they haven't been able to sit up there and get that at this moment in time, no matter what truths they decide to put directly out there to the Cabbage Patch Kids. Crazy work. 100%. So now let's speaking of the government, we're going to go right back, and this is dealing with the Trump administration. We're going to have RFK Jr. Speaking, and hopefully people are paying very close attention to the words that he is using when he's going over this information.
Bobby, do you have anything to say? We signed some very important documents having to do with health. Do you have anything to say?
Mr. President, a gain of function, this is an historic day, the end of gain of function research funding by the federal government and also controls by private corporations on gain of function studies. This was the kind of study that was engaged in by the United States military and intelligence agencies beginning in 1947. By 1969, the CIA said that they had reached nuclear equivalency, that they could kill the entire U.S. population for 29 cents a person. That year, President Nixon went to Fort Detrick and announced a unilateral end to this kind of research, what they called dual-use research, research that was for vaccination and also for military purposes. He then persuaded over 180 countries to sign the Bioweapons Charter in 1973. That basically ended gain-of-function research around the globe until 2002. Or 2001, after the anthrax attacks, we passed the Patriot Act, and the Patriot Act had a provision, a little-known provision in it, that said that although the Bioweapons Charter is still in effect, and the Geneva Convention is still in effect, U.S. federal officials who violate it cannot be prosecuted. And that relaunched a bioweapons arms race, and that was driven by gain-of-function research. In 2014, 3 of those bugs escaped from U.S. labs, and President Obama declared a moratorium on future use, and instead a lot of that research was moved offshore to the Wuhan lab. We have an world so that China's engaged in it, developing all kinds of weapons using AI and CRISPR technologies that are really devastating. Russia is deeply engaged in it, Iran and many other countries. It's a kind of weapon that always has blowback. There's always bad news. And the justification for this kind of weaponry was, and these kind of research, was always that we have to do this to develop vaccines to counter a future pandemic. In all of the history of gain-of-function research, we can't point to a single good thing that's come from it. And today, I commend President Trump for his courage and his vision in ending U.S. bioweapons research. And was always that we have to do this to develop vaccines to counter a future pandemic.
And I'm just going to stop it right there. So over the course, over the years that I've specifically made sure to try to bring you guys videos, no matter, what takes place, right? A lot of those videos got, had some complications, some issues, things of that nature. So, I had to upload some stuff directly to IG. And one of the videos that I gave to you guys was the fact that BBC did a report, and they were saying how it is that scientists right now are working on / making vaccines for disease X. And they specifically said in that story that they don't know how or when it's going to happen, or where it's going to come from. But they're already working on vaccines. And the question that I always bring up to people is, how is it possible that you are preparing for an unknown? You don't know if it's coming from north, south, east, or west. You don't know if it's coming from the water, if it's coming from space, if it's coming from a volcano, if it's coming from a chimp. You don't know where it's coming from, but you're going to make sure that you already got something prepared and ready for it. How? That don't make any sense. How are you sitting up there preparing for an unknown future? And you're telling people as a definite that, yeah, disease X is out there. How do you know that? How? And I'm like, and I keep trying to tell. I'm like, so all of these people, these are the people that you trust, like who, the government, all this other type of stuff. These are the people that y'all trust. These are the people that y'all, solely, fully, 100% believe in and take every single word directly in. And I also brought y'all a video back from during the days of when Obama was, speaking, and he was talking about that, another, pandemic. I brought you another, video here and there where Falsey was talking about another pandemic. And I'm like, nobody's paying attention. Nobody's listening to anything that is completely being said directly in front of them. Everybody just just twiddling their thumbs, playing tiddlywinks. Like that's what we're doing out here. And they're actively telling you stuff in front of your face, and you're still not paying attention. Like I said, I'm going to reiterate what I've said before. The moment in time that these test runs that they're doing goes through whatever final phase that it needs to go through, and they actually drop what's supposed to be dropped, whatever happens basically happens. I don't want people to be surprised or shocked. I don't want to see people out here crying and doing this and doing that and woe is me. It's like you've been warned for a very long time. And you got social media. You watch mainstream media. At least you should be watching it. And they literally go out here and they tell you. They literally go out here and they tell you what it is, what is going to happen, what is going to come. They tell you in front of your face and you have no reaction. You're not even trying to side eye it. You're just like, okay, whatever. The Democrats, right? That's what a lot of people want to sit up there and just do. But again, I just want to know this is the Republican Party stating this. This is a Republican-run government at this moment in time. Trump was clearly there signing something. And you got this guy up here telling you. All right. Like I said, I'll be the crazy one. I will happily be the crazy one. I will happily be the crazy one since people are not going to pay attention. I'll put it to you like this. I'm not going to put the whole situation, right? I'm not going to put the whole of the situation dealing with black men and women on social media because this was going on way before social media was even a thing. Let's just get that straight. Let's just, before we had social media, right? We had normal television for like 30 years. You had Montel Jordan, you had Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, Maury, the Tyra Banks show. Who else? I think Rosie O'Donnell had maybe like a show like that as well. The Steve Wilkos show. Like there was a multitude of shows before we had social media. There was a multitude of shows directly out there. What would be the correct word? Propagated, right? Or whatnot. But that basically pushed a lot of stuff that was already there to the surface, right? So whatever feelings that black men and women had, that was more so at home. That was more so maybe you might hear about it on the streets. You might hear about it from a friend, stuff like that. Once you started having television, that's when all of that stuff, instead of it just being just street level stuff where it was just like, hey, neighborhood and family and home, it now it went out all across the world. So again, I'm not going to sit up there and blame TikTok and YouTube ain't been here for that long. Matter of fact, we haven't even actually, as just common folk, had the internet for that long. When did we get the internet back in like 94, 95? If somebody can, correct me in the comment section, back during Good Morning America when they were first asking, what does the @ symbol mean? I don't even know what that means. And what is www? World Wide Web, right? Again, that was during a time that the internet literally hit for the everyday person. And even during that time, everybody wasn't purely accessible to the internet because everybody didn't have a computer. A lot of people in the 90s didn't even know how to use a computer. So, yeah. Just gonna put that directly out there. So, just gotta put things into perspective. Right. You said true, that was output, but now we're getting input from individuals. And that's more so because black people allow it. That's because black people have purely allowed those things to happen. Going back to case in point, let me just put it on a well, no, I just leave the no. I just freeze frame it like that. So going back to the whole thing dealing with the verses where you have black Americans versus everybody else, because that's literally what it is, irregardless of whatever other people want to say online and all this other type of stuff. The people got us divided and we need to no. Like I said, the problems in Africa that and like I said, shout out to the nations over there in Africa that are standing up, kicking Europe out, and doing the things that they need to sit up and do. Shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation to them and their bloodlines for supporting their leaders and whatever efforts that they have in order to have them stand up. Shout out to them. Now, to the rest of the ones out there that are in these culture wars when it deals with black Americans, again, it doesn't make any type of sense. I'm a little bit confused. There's a multitude of issues going on in Africa that people should be focused in on. But as I've stated before, being a content creator myself and happening to be all over and watching and taking in this information, I see a lot of people with accents. I see a lot of people that are immigrants that want to have a conversation or a talking point or make a topic surrounding black Americans. And again, it's a little bit weird to me because I'm like, your home should be the most important thing. Black America realistically is not your home. I can't sit up there and claim Africa to sit up there and be my home. I did not live there. I did not come from there by way of a plane and come directly to the United. Like I said, I can't sit up and see it. I see it from afar. I respect it. That's cool, but that's all I got. Home is here, United States, America, born and raised, generationally with my family and everything of that such, right? So when I decide to have conversations, I tend to speak more on black American things, right? Because that's pretty much my business. That's where all of my knowledge, all of my information, directly comes from. I'm not going to really speak on other topics dealing with other melanated people around the world unless they decide to open up their mouths and start talking about black Americans. And over the course that I've been doing this online, I've seen a lot of people decide to speak out of the side of their neck disrespectfully towards black Americans for no reason. Like I said, shout out to, some of my people I got here from the UK, but the rest of the lot over there across the pond in the UK talking crazy makes no sense. Because anytime I see anybody that is melanated in the UK, I don't see them dressing English. I'm just going to be real. I don't even see like just basic. I'm not seeing no suits or no ties. I'm not seeing none of that. I'm seeing American drip. I'm seeing black American drip, influence, culture. I'm talking about from the chains. I'm talking about to the grills, talking about to the hair, to the expression, to the walk, to the slang, all of that, to the rap, anything that you can listen, that's over there. And I'm like, how did that happen? I'm like, that don't make no sense. A lot of y'all coming directly from Africa. So I'm like, y'all drip should be coming from Africa. Like y'all should be like really, putting that out there with your chest out, all of that, wearing like the whole African garb, African dance swag, all of that. But that's not what I see. And then the same people emulating black Americans who are not even American want to have an issue and talk negatively about black Americans. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. Diabolical. You said it was 92 or April 1993. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So basically early 90s, that's when we pretty much first got the internet. Yo, DSA1, what is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. You also said you forgot the cell phone. I mean, no, I didn't let put the cell phone directly up there because nobody's, there's no type of like group calls. Like when you think about like a Zoom call or a call using Cisco, right? You got about like 20 people directly in there. We didn't have that. That wasn't a thing, right? the main thing that people had during the time was like a three-way, right? Where you could sit up and call one person and hook up the line. That was the coldest thing right there, right? But then later on, that's when you started having party lines and you know, and different stuff like that, where you could literally have a multitude of people literally talking at the same time. Or even if you didn't have that during a moment of time, if your phone lines were crossed, and like I said, a lot of the younger generation don't know nothing about that because they weren't on landlines, right? If you're on a landline, even a wireless landline phone, if your lines were crossed in a certain way, and this would happen to me pretty often, you could pick up the phone, and once you allow the tone, when you so when you pick up the phone, unlike cell phones, you would hear a tone, right? Which means that, okay, it's clear, you can sit up there and call. After that tone disappears, right, and the phone just goes silent, if you stay there long enough and your lines are crossed, you can actually hear conversations from other people. And I remember, still to this day, it was other people within like in my age range, and I heard them, it was a boy and a girl sitting up there talking, and I was just sitting up there. I was like, yo, let me sit on their music phone, let me see what they talk about real quick. And I stood there for like 5 minutes, like listening to them talk, and then I just came out of nowhere. I'm like, yeah. I was sitting up there, I was watching that too, and it was like, what you mean you was watching that too? Like, yo, who was that? Like, you got somebody else on the phone? Like, you got somebody else? It was like, no. The line's crossed right now. I'm just sitting up here talking. And then, you know, everybody was sitting up there just like laughing and chilling and, you know, and stuff like that. Like I said, you can't have stuff like that now. The kids of now, like at least a lot of the generations that are just present right now, they never had that experience. They don't even know what that is, because that doesn't happen with cell phones. Cell phones just pretty much, they just go dead and that's it. You know, cell phones just go dead, and that is pretty much it. But going back to the whole thing with Dorsey, it's like, yeah, we got, you know, it's a lot of things going on, you know, a lot of problems, complications, and one of the main things is that, you know, you got black people out here not controlling the conversation and the narrative, and booting out people that should not be in or a part of the conversation at all. Like, that's the main problem, because like I said, if I start having certain conversations, I would expect somebody Caribbean be like, yo, you shouldn't be speaking on this because you're not Caribbean. Okay, no problem. It's that simple. It's that, like I said, I'm not going to feel no type of way. You're right. I'm not Caribbean. I'm Black American. It's a clear difference. Like I said, I have no issue with that. I would not feel disrespected or anything like that. As you're right. You don't want me a part of it. You don't want my, no problem. Let me go mind my business. Let me mind my business. Same thing with Africans. If they decide to say the exact same, no problem. You got it. Let me mind my Black American business. But the problem is that Black Americans don't get that same respect. We will tell people that, hey, mind your business, stay out of this issue. This has nothing to do with you. Everybody be like, oh no, we've been here for a few generations. My parents were here since the 60s and we no, like I said, everybody got every excuse on why it is that they can have their cake and eat it too. Meaning that they can talk about their issues at home and just do that, and then they can also impede and talk about Black American issues, even though they're not Black American or really a part of Black America. It's crazy work. Like I said, Black people, Black Americans are the most disrespected group out in this planet, bar none. Nobody else even comes close. I don't care who you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what group of people you come from. You are not nowhere in any type of race when it deals with the disrespect that Black Americans face. But yeah, like I said before, going back to this whole thing here, people gotta be paying attention to, you know, what's being said. And then on top of that, going back to the thing with Trump and, you know, and what Junior said, they were talking about the fact that CRISPR technology, I've mentioned CRISPR technology on this platform before here and there, you know, gene editing and all of that great stuff. I also, because I couldn't put it up here, I brought up a clip from a 007 movie that I saw, and they within there talked about, in a sense, CRISPR tech or gene editing tech that was used or devised in order to weaponize a bioagent that could literally annihilate an ethnicity. Because before they made it, if you go to my IG, you might have to go through quite a few of the videos, but you'll happen to find it. So basically in that 007 movie, and I think what the very last one, where Daniel Craig is pretty much gone. Spoiler alert, just in case nobody saw that old film, right? In that film, they talk about the fact that this, I guess they called it like a Trojan horse. I forgot what it was, but they had this agent that somebody made specifically to target families. They can program it. It can lay dormant. You can spray it, right? It can be put directly into a spray, because they showcased like this club. Everybody was dancing, so everybody was infected, but it was dormant because it's only going to be triggered by a specific gene code. And once that gene code was there, it triggered and it automatically took that person out. So the whole main thing for that was for if they needed to go after a target, but they did not want a whole bunch of casualties, that's what they would do. But Q or somebody else basically stated that this is so dangerous because somebody can literally reprogram this to go after an ethnicity. Like, you could wipe out a whole race. So yeah. So they had to go through the whole process of finding the laboratory of where this was getting created, and basically take that out along with the information and stuff of that nature. So like I said, they put stuff directly in front of you in mainstream media, but people tend not to pay attention. People tend not to pay attention when these things are placed directly in front of people. Let me see. I used to listen in on my brother talking to his girlfriend, and I used to piss him off with that. Oh yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know what you're getting mad at me for. Let me just put this to another frame. For Jason, I don't know what you're getting mad at me for. Like I said, I'm stating what it is, and I'm stating 10 toes down. The exact same way that other people can state what it is that they state. Matter of fact, I got you. There's a video up there. Let me see if I can actually get this real quick, because it's crazy when people got certain issues. When I bring up stuff. Let me see if this is the video. Did she cut? Let me see. Okay, so yeah. All right, yeah. So I can actually, they did actually edit that. So this is this woman, because Tariq posted this video, and this is a police arrest. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say this is probably New York. I don't know. I'm guessing New York or Florida, something like that. But obviously this woman got arrested, which seems to be a cell phone store. And I want y'all to pay very close attention, because because Jason said that Caribbean people are our people originally, right? No problem. That's cool. You feel a certain type of way about it. You got an issue with what it is that I'm saying. I hope you have an issue with what it is that I'm going to bring up here. I hope you got that same energy. So let me place this video, and I want y'all to pay very close attention to her words.
Killing me like I'm a American. I'm Jamaican. Don't kill me here. Go kill a black American. I'm don't kill me here.
No one's gonna get hurt. You're good.
Okay.
So let me record that. Let me just repeat that one more time, so everybody can hear this, right? Because clearly I'm just trying to make sure I'm cleaning out my ears right now, because I could have sworn that this Jamaican woman said that she is Jamaican American, and she said that she is not Black American, and she said, don't go out here trying to kill me like I'm a Black American. So let me just repeat that again. Let me just go over this again.
For not killing me like I'm a American. I'm Jamaican. Don't kill me here. Go kill a black American.
Ooh, go kill a black
Don't
American.
kill me here.
No one's gonna get hurt. You're good.
Okay.
Woo! And she said that to what color are those officers? I can't see from here. Maybe my glasses are a little bit dusty. Maybe my glasses, but I know my hearing's not. She clearly said that she showed you the difference. She's like, I'm Jamaican American, not Black American. And she specifically told those officers to basically leave her alone and to go out there and take the life of a Black American. So this is why I ain't trying to hear nothing from nobody. All I'm trying to say is, you said Seji, so what she is saying is Jamaican American means she is no American, right? No, she clearly said that she's Jamaican American. She's clearly stating that she is not Black American. No, you're not listening. How how do you literally, it's a 12-second clip. How do you miss the part where she said to the officers, who are not black, by the way, to go out there and take the life of a Black American? She's Jamaican American. So don't sit up there and do nothing to her. Don't sit up there and try to take her. Go out there and take the life of a Black American. How do we skip over that? How we skip over that? You are skipping over. You are. I'm not sure if you're delayed or what's going on your end from the mobile device that you're using. I am very specific on what it is that I'm looking at and listening to. Jamaican woman clearly told officers who are not black to go out there and take the life of Black Americans. And people want to have an issue with Black Americans and how it is that they want to delineate and how it is they want to separate themselves from other people. But too many times I have videos and I've gone over videos of people from Africa, from the UK, whoever it is, people out here who are melanated, who supposedly look like Black Americans but are not Black Americans, always state how it is that they are separate and different. They got their cultures, their heritage, their language, their religions, everything, and Black Americans have nothing. This is some crazy work. That is crazy work. Crazy work. And like I said, this is what I be talking about. I would never in my life, if I ever got arrested, I would never talk about somebody Caribbean like this. I would never talk about somebody African like this. I would never do this type of nonsense. But this always happens when it deals with Black Americans. Everybody always wants to disrespect Black Americans. And like I said before, the only reason that she's here is because of Black Americans. Bar none, those are just facts. I ain't even arguing it. Like I said, anybody that is melanated, the only reason that you're in America is because we made it comfortable. We made it possible. We made it palatable for you to be here. That's some crazy work. That is some crazy. Like I said, just imagine if I said some nonsensical, stupid stuff like that about somebody else melanated. I would look like a complete fool. But like I said, when stuff like this comes out and it gets shown, people, don't want to happen to call that out. There's tons of videos like this. And people don't want to sit up there and call it out. And I'm like, what? Like, that makes no sense. If somebody Black American says something negative about somebody else, I would have to sit up there and call it out. I would have to sit up there and say something because that's stupid. Why would you say something like that? But like I said, that's a leap of faith. That's just a hope, wish, and a dream that other people would feel the exact same way or see the situation the exact same way. But this also goes into the other respect that people get treated differently from Black Americans. And the reason why she said what she said is because she knows that she would get treated. People realize that she's more than likely Jamaican by the way of her accent and everything like that. So that differentiates her from a Black American. So she knows that she can get away and say certain things and do things because she's not going to be looked at and deemed the exact same. Because like I said, she has a clean slate. Black Americans don't have a clean slate. We have a history here. Jamaicans, Caribbeans, Africans, they don't really have a history here. They don't have the same history as Black Americans here in the United States. The treatment, the laws, the rules, the regular don't got the same, right? Because they have their own lands. They have their own governments. They have their own people that are ruling over their areas. It's a lot different from historically what Black Americans have had to go through and face. It's crazy work. Let me see. Got some random person talking about some grow up. I don't even know what that person's even talking about. Not even talking about an actual topic, just saying some stuff in the comment section. Crazy work. Yo, what is up, Tippy? What is up? What is up? What is up? Technically, Tippy, you didn't miss nothing much. Went over the main video topic, well, the start video topic, which was a black male that was at home, and at 3 a.m. you had these. I'm just gonna put it like everybody else normally likes to put it. You had three Caucasian thugs that decided to come to his back door and cause a ruckus, and the black homeowner didn't know what was going on, and he decided to, defend himself and his home. And somebody played stupid games, won stupid prizes, and somebody was maimed, a few were maimed, barely injured, and one is now seeing the upper room at this moment in time. And the black man is going to get prosecuted for murder, even though he was defending himself in his home at 3 a.m. because nobody should have been in his backyard. But it'd be like that. It's crazy work. Then we had the other video where you had a Latin family directly out there, causing a ruckus, flipping over tables and chairs, and attacking employees. Video after that, what was this one? Oh, went rehashed over the Smokey Robinson thing. After that, talked about another video detailing the fact that the government is telling people that, hey, we can implant false memories directly into your mind. After that, had RFK Jr. with Trump, and he was specifically stating how we have certain facilities here that were doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and how it is that, of course, there is DNA, gene editing technology, which can be used in order to create bioweapons or things of that nature to go after people. He also listed something else in there, right? Let me see if I can peel that back, right? He also listed that, directly in there as well. And then the video that I just listed, which was this one, I'll play it one more time.
Leave me like I'm a American. I'm Jamaican. Don't kill me here. Go kill a black American. I'm American. Don't kill me here.
No one's gonna get hurt. You're good.
Okay.
So then you got that one, right? Where you got a Jamaican woman sitting up there telling the cops as she's arrested, obviously she was doing something wrong, because if she wasn't, she wouldn't be on the ground arrested, right? She decided to tell those cops to go out there, instead of messing with her, go out there and take the lives of black Americans. Crazy work. A full-on immigrant saying that about black Americans. Diabolical work. What's this, everything? I don't know who's writing that. Yeah, what's up, Gail? What's up, Gail? Oh, so we just got clown. I see some clown work just sitting directly in the comment section. No problem. You can just stay there. Gail said, "Yo, what's up?" To Seji in chat. Since they're so different, why they refrain from protesting just because Black Americans did? The Caribbean/African origins will save them. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He says, so what I was saying was that the stolen culture is ours, and they admit they're working with people you do not know to imitate us, to disparage us, and you in a system. And then what else? What else we got? All right, so but all know in America, Black people aren't allowed to defend themselves without consequences. That's only reserved for the sundial. Yes, correct. That's true. That's true. Let me see. Tippy said, "Go back to Jamaican." And yeah, 100%. You said that's a diabolical work. Yeah. Dorsey said the English flag is called the Union Jack. Yeah. If you've noticed, its lines go across in every direction. That's an agreement to plunder and steal from the whole world. The word Jack means robbery. Union Jack. It's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Sham said when she need help, she's going to be crying to the black community. That's the only community that she can sit up there and cry to. Because Jamaica's not going to send some type of representative to try to help her out or whatnot or whatever. They're not doing that. Africa, in certain instances, will do that, depending on the nation, depending on the area where the people are. They'll do that. Because I've seen that before. I've covered it when it dealt with China and how Africans were being treated over there in China, and they literally sent an African representative to go speak on behalf of those people and the treatment that they are suffering with, right? To do that whole diplomacy thing. Jamaica's not doing that. let's just be real. Jamaica's not doing it. Like I said, for me, I don't really have a problem with people. I only have a problem when people have a problem with Black Americans. That's the only time that you're going to just so happen to hear my mouth. Other than that, I get along with people. I don't have no problem, don't have no issue up until people let me know that there's a problem and I didn't know that there was one. So now we all got a problem. And that's what it's going to be. So here we are, face to face, together with silver spoons. So next we got what did Gail say? If they're so into gene splicing, why can't they improve their own advanced aging, weak bones, and aversion to the sun? I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. Yo, Carl, what is up? What is up? You said that's this Jamaican woman would say something like that, but let something happen again, she'll beg the Black Americans to come to her rescue. No, they got a lot of Jamaicans up there in New York. I'm guessing this is New York. I'm just guessing. You know, it could be Florida, I don't know. But wherever she's at, I'm pretty sure they got a nice Jamaican population. The Jamaicans can pull up for her. They got that. They got that. Yo, what's up, Ty? What is up? What is up? What is up? Ty was like, what did I miss? I just rehashed. Lord, you missed everything, brother. You missed everything, brother. Let me tell you, we got stuff dealing with the government, gene splicing, chemicals. You got things dealing with mind manipulation, you know, psychological warfare. Other things dealing with people want to wreck restaurants when they can't monitor the kids, you know, things of that sort. You know, Black people trying to defend their homes from Caucanite thugs, and you know, somebody ended up losing their life. It wasn't a Black homeowner though, but you know, and now the Black homeowner is going to, you know, get charged. Crazy work, diabolical in nature, 100%. Next we do have another video. Now this is, I wanted to highlight this. Oh, it's not gonna pull up.
Location.
Okay. So this is a video that I wanted to highlight due to the fact of that a lot of white people don't seem to understand or get the problems or the issues when it deals with the police and different things like that. So, you know, I just wanted to highlight that way. Let me see something. Hold on. Where was the other video? Didn't I do this? Okay, so I didn't do that other video. Gotta be kidding me. So I'm gonna actually have to do that while you guys watch this video. So I'm gonna let this video basically fully play through. So the white folks in the background, I'm just going to let y'all know this, what you see here is going to happen to you way more often because you allowed it to happen to the past, in the past to Black people. You allow it to happen currently, and you're going to allow it to happen in the future. So what you see here is going to be just a little bit of taste of what is going to happen over time by way of your own police and your military and your government when it deals with you just simply walking the streets.
Any specific location? Okay. Is this your son?
Yes.
All right. Hey, what's your name?
You be telling me name.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Johnny.
Johnny. All right. All right, Johnny, where you coming from?
Just walking around.
Just walking around?
Yeah.
All right, enjoying this weather?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we're checking up on you, man. You know?
Just walk around. What the heck is this deal?
Found it a little bit suspicious, you know? So,
what?
just walking around.
Walking around is a little bit suspicious?
I mean, technically not really, but I mean, it is pretty early in the morning. Just wondering what was going on.
That's what we do. We get up early in the morning.
You got your ID on you?
What do I need an ID for?
Because I just asked you for it.
I don't need to show my ID.
Okay. If you don't give me your ID, I'm going to take you to jail for failure to identify because I've identified that
But you've been walking around down here at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we do that.
No, you're not. Give me your ID.
I don't have my ID on me because it's at the house.
Okay, what's your name and date of birth?
Huh?
What's your name and date
I
of
don't know, but you can't run. I don't have. This is a state where I don't have to show my
Okay,
ID.
turn around.
You're gonna do this in front of my son?
Yeah, turn around.
Are you serious?
Yeah, turn
This
around.
is my son. Let me bring my son home first.
No, turn around now.
Bro, you need here. Let me videotape this real quick. I want this on video. What are you doing to my son? Bro, this is fucked up. Son, it's okay, okay?
It's good.
Bro, I promise you're gonna pay for this.
You think?
Yeah, I promise you that. We're walking around. There's nothing suspicious. I've done nothing criminal. I don't have my ID on me. I told you that.
And what did I tell you?
And you just slammed me on the ground because I was trying to record. What are you rolling me on the ground for?
It's gonna be okay.
Dude, this is ridiculous. Man, look what you're doing to my fucking son. There's my phone right there, too.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Hey, buddy. He's just gonna find out who he is, all right? And then,
John Sexton.
So we were able to see that, right? And I think the man stated, or maybe in the article it was stated, that the young boy was autistic, so he's on the spectrum. So this is why you don't see him conveying or actually talking, because normally whenever interactions happen like this and kids are there, they're talking, like they're speaking up, they're saying this and they're saying that. And then you had these white officers come directly up on this man, and he asked him, like, so it's suspicious for me out here walking with my son in the morning? And the cop couldn't even give him nothing. He was like, well, it literally 2 days passed by before he gave a response. And this is when the other one offers some roids. This says, give me your ID. Show me your identification. Why don't you have your identification? Well, because I can't identify you. I'm going to sit up there and put you under arrest for obstruction and this. Dog, what are you doing? What are you doing? But like I said, logically, I can sit up there and say that this was 100% wrong. That there was no need for this to happen. But the other side of me, where I've continuously seen this happen to black people and white people tend not to care. Realistically, and y'all keep allowing the cops to go out here and do these exact same things, I get to the point where I'm like, I don't care. It'd be like that. At the end of the day, a father's still going to get to see his son. There were a lot of fathers that had police interactions like this over simple things like this, and they didn't get a chance to see their sons. They didn't get a chance to see their girlfriends or their wife or their unborn child or their families. They didn't get a chance to do any of that. So, like I said, it is what it is. He's still around. He's still going to be able to raise and see his son. Crazy. Well, let's continue.
Tells me it was a morning like most others. He was just taking a walk with his son early around 6 a.m. Everything abruptly changed. He was detained. I have the officers' documents right here over what they say happened. They said it was suspicious. OSBI is now investigating over whether or not that was true, over whether this was justified. But Sexton says what he knows for sure is that his son hasn't been the same since.
Hey, how you doing today?
You're watching body cam video from a Watonga police officer who stopped this man, John Sexton, and his son in the early morning of July 4th.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Johnny.
It all started after officers say they saw the pair leaving an alleyway.
Found it a little bit suspicious, So, just walking around.
Walking around is a little bit suspicious?
I mean, technically not really, but I mean, it is pretty early in the morning.
It was just before 6 a.m., around when Sexton says he and his son, who lives with autism, typically walk outside.
You've been walking around down here at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we do that.
No, you're not. Give me your ID.
When Sexton didn't give the officer his ID,
I'm going to take you to jail for failure to identify.
but Sexton says it wasn't on him.
Give me your ID.
I don't have my ID on me because it's at the house.
The situation escalated all the way to this.
I want this on video. What are you doing to my bro? This is up.
All while Sexton's son watched and wailed. The officer then brings Sexton to his patrol car.
shut up and listen just a minute. We had reasonable enough suspicion to identify you.
And what was I being detained for?
Criminal, like we don't know what's going on, but we can call it criminal activity.
But he's eventually let go. Sexton says his son has not been the same since.
He's been a cop for Halloween for the last 2 years. That's what he's been wanting to be when he grows up. That's what he says, and now he's scared of him.
I do have the names of the officers that were involved in this incident, but we aren't releasing them right now because they haven't been formally charged with anything. I also reached out to Watonga Police. I did speak on the phone with the police chief, and she said no comment in relation to this incident here.
So you heard that, right? So the father got released because there was no reason for them originally to put him in handcuffs to detain him for simply walking with his autistic son. His son is more than likely up in the morning. He likes the fresh air, the feeling of the cool breeze directly on the skin because they got, this thing dealing with like sensories. So like there's probably a lot of things that go, into that. It probably calms him. It probably helps him, either go back to sleep or starts his day. A father was just simply doing what it is that a father would do, spend time with his kids. But, obviously I guess you can't. Because I'm for sure I'm not going to believe that somebody called the police directly on him. I'm not believing that. I'm not believing that at all. It just looks as though that the cops were bored and they wanted somebody to try to mess with. They couldn't find nobody black, during the time or in the area. So they decided to go after this father and son, and they wanted to try to act as though that it was just suspicious when there was nothing suspicious about it. But like I said before, to the white folks directly out there, y'all allow this type of nonsense to go on because you never hold cops accountable. And I tell y'all time and time again that the things that you've been allowing to happen to the black community, the things that you have been seeing, the things that y'all been sitting up there laughing about, gleeing about, all that other type of stuff, oh yeah, it's going to sit up there and hit y'all like a ton of bricks. The dragons are going to come right back and they're going to start frying all of y'all. They're going to burn down your houses. Everything is going to be looking like Pompeii. They're going to turn y'all into Medusa stone statues. That's what's going to be happening. And I promise you, let any one of y'all look back at me and say, what are we going to do? And I'm going to tell you, I'm not doing nothing because this don't got nothing to do with me. Because the moment in time that you've been seeing black families been torn apart by this type of nonsense happening, y'all ain't care. Y'all ain't do nothing. Y'all ain't make sure to stop those guys from being police. Y'all just make sure that, we're going to make sure that this person gets off. They're going to have a paid vacation because they did such a good job. No problem. And the moment in time that this starts happening to y'all in droves, you're going to start hearing me say back the blue. I kid you not. I'm going to give you the exact same energy that you've been giving the black community for all these many decades. Whenever you see one of our kids being gone, whenever you see one of our sisters, our mothers, our aunts, grandmothers, our fathers, our uncles, our brothers, our stepbrothers, our friends, our co-workers, whenever y'all see that happen and y'all just be online just cheering about it, making memes, doing this and doing that, and y'all be saying back to blue all the time, blue lives matter, I'm going to be saying the same things. Matter of fact, I might just sit up there and make that into new episodes on this channel. I'll sit up there and put the camera directly up. And anytime I happen to talk about a story where the police did something to y'all, you're going to sit up there and see me with a Blue Lives Matter t-shirt. Because I'm like, you got to back the blue. They did everything right. These cops can do no wrong. Just like y'all always sit up there and say when it deals with the black community, if y'all weren't committing the crimes, you wouldn't have to do the time. All right, no problem. The same thing for you. Maybe if you wasn't out here methed out, OD'd out, acting, looking suspicious in your own neighborhoods, and maybe these things wouldn't be sitting up there happening. But it is what it is, right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? I think what was the main quote that somebody said that if one person has a black eye, everybody has a black eye or something like. Yeah, we all just gonna be having two black eyes. We all just gonna be walking around here blind. That's what's gonna be happening. Like I said, at least I'm honest. Because people like to sit up and say fight fire with fire. I believe in fighting fire with lava. That's where I am. That's where I am. Fight fire with lava. That's exactly where I am. Because like I said, I don't got time for it. Because there's been a lot of times that I've done a lot of videos and I've tried to be as compassionate, empathetic, sympathetic to a lot of situations, dealing with a variety of groupings of races of people directly out there, all to sit up there and see and find out that everybody else doesn't feel the same way. And I'm like, ain't that something? Like I said before, there's a variety of times that I can do videos and live streams, right? And I know I got white people silently sitting in the background looking at the chat, just, talking and staying to themselves. And then I'll have, some racist commentary, coming directly into the chat. And I see little to none white folks deciding to call that out. And I'm like, oh, so I'm like, I see how y'all like to sit up there and move. No problem. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to act the exact same way that y'all sit up there and act. I'm going to be that mirror directly for you. But the only difference is I'm not going to care. And I'm not doing it off of a hypothetical, oh, there's going to be a race war. I don't care about none of that. If you're going to be blind, we're all going to be blind. That's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. Like I said, y'all like to sit up there and play foolish games. Y'all want to sit up there and do all of this. Y'all want to laugh. No problem. We got you. We got you. Like I said, this is the beautiful part about social media. 100%. All the times I happen to go on Twitter or AKX, and I just so happen to see you guys, just running it up. Whenever somebody black is up there, here y'all come with the racist comments. And I don't see white people calling it out. And I know y'all are heavily by the millions, the gaggles, the gangles of you guys. I know you guys are up there on Twitter. I know y'all see a lot of this stuff, but y'all opt to stay away from it because y'all got the mentality, both Democrat and Republican, that, oh, if I don't, go into the racism, if I don't go into it, that makes me less racist than this person. No, you still racist. You're just silently complying or in compliance with said racism, because you opted not to speak against or speak out about it. Because realistically, because you're silent, you're actually more racist than the person that is being obviously racist. Because at least they know what they're doing and they're being honest about it. You want to sit up there and be quiet and quaint directly in your home. You want to have your nice white picket fence. You want to do this. You want to do that. You want to just act like, it's not here with me. At least you're not going to see it or know it. Shout out to Hulk Hogan, who said that he's racist to a point. And that's your average white person directly out here, regardless on if you acknowledge it or not, regardless on if you know it or not. You are. So, just saying, it'd be like that, it'd be like that. Matter of fact, well, I would actually highlight that, but your clownery directly out here. But shout out to Truth Bomb though for that $5 dono. I have no problem with that. Matter of fact, let me see. And like I said, we'll sit up there and take it. So shout out to the trolls. Let me just highlight this because no chargebacks, just to let you know. We'll take that $5 dono. So case in point, this is just some of the, you would have thought this was Twitch. This is just some of the nonsense that y'all like to sit up there and write. But like I said, no chargebacks though. Shout out to that $5 dono. Ain't getting that back though. You better talk to YouTube about that. But yeah, like I said before, it'd be like that. Matter of fact, speaking of the police, let's just go into this video that I have here dealing with a black American. And what's going on? What took place with him in I want to say maybe this might have been Connecticut by what he was listing, right? So let's take a listen.
All right, so I don't know what's going on, but this state trooper's been following me since Lebanon. So I started recording it. I'm driving in circles and he's following me. I haven't violated any traffic laws. He's on a fishing expedition right now. So I want it documented that I'm going in circles and he's following me intentionally. And he's waiting for a reason to pull me over. So it's coming. And I'm ready. My papers are legit, done nothing wrong. But this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, where our officials, our public servants, do not act as public servants. This is some bullshit. So I'm keeping the camera on, I'm keeping it rolling. We're gonna see what this guy does. Because now we're back in Lebanon. See, here we go. I told you. Why'd you pull me over?
Why did I pull you over?
I'm a little concerned, and I'm being recording this for my own safety right now.
I pulled you over because, number one, you almost ran the stop sign up there, so you caught my attention.
I was a little excited, and I do apologize for that, but I made sure to stop, and you'll notice...
Go down because I can't hear you clearly.
My top is off.
Well,
That doesn't... Wait, well, that makes no sense whatsoever. What's your name, sir? Cano? I am a little concerned now. You're making allegations. You can't hear me with the cop off the car. That doesn't make sense. Yes, I almost rolled the stop sign. I apologize for that. And you'll notice I made complete stops after that. I don't understand the reason for the rest of this traffic
You
stop.
asked me a question, now you're not giving me a chance to answer.
Well, because I'm also voicing my concerns. As a citizen, I am concerned that you're following me and trying to find something.
Following you.
Right, so because of the stop sign?
Because this intersection is the same one that we started at, so why did you make a big loop for no reason?
Maybe I forgot something at home.
Where do you live?
I live in North Franklin. But wait,
Do you have any identification?
I do. But why is the reason for the stop?
Suspicious activity. I'd like to see your license, please.
Suspicion's not a crime, though.
So we heard that, right? And I tried to find maybe if there was like a second part to the video, and wasn't able to find anything at the moment in time. But when I can, I will, make sure to post the full thing, both parts, part 1 and part 2, directly for you guys. But as the brother stated, he was like, yo, this cop was like following me for miles, and he's just been behind me trying to fish, trying to find a reason to sit up there and stop me and all this other type of stuff. And he wasn't really trying to stop him for the stop sign. He just said suspicion. The dude apologized. He was like, yeah, I got a little bit, excited. I might have went over the stop sign, but, after that, I sat up there and stopped at every other stop. Right. So the cop didn't care about that. He was like, what about that large turn that you said have to make while we're going in circles? Technically, you shouldn't be worried about why he's going in circles. The fact of the matter is, why are you following him in a circle? That seems even more suspicious. I'm like, why are you even following him? Like, that makes you couldn't find nothing. You were more than likely behind this dude. That was like, what, a 3-minute video? You were behind him long enough that you ran his plates, more than likely, and you still couldn't find nothing. So because you couldn't find nothing, you were just trying to find just a little bit of something just to do it. And then the craziest part about this cop, he was like, I can't properly hear you because your window's up. If we look at this dude's car, he has no top. Let me repeat that one more time. If we look at this brother's car, he does not have a top on the roof. And you mean to tell me that this high IQ'd human being of a cop was like, I can't hear you because your window is up? Is he on drugs? Dude, I think we need to do mandatory drug testing weekly when it deals with cops, because that is the most insane, stupidest thing that I've ever heard. I can't hear you in a convertible car because your window is up. This cop is racist. I don't even care. Yo, this cop is just racist. You ain't telling me nothing. You can't tell. I've never in my life. You can't hear somebody in a convertible. Well, you can't hear somebody in a car with no top because their window, brother. And he's not even playing music. What? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. And y'all allow these dudes to be cops? White people. White people, white people, white people, white people. This is how a lot of black people end up getting maimed or losing their lives. This is how a lot of black people, black Americans, end up getting maimed or losing their lives, because you got cops like this that do nonsense like this. But like I said before, I am waiting. Like I said, I don't know, what, if I got to get like some lamb, some lizard foot, or, an eye of an elk. I don't know what deity of yours that I got to start praying to make sure that videos start happening where it's dealing with y'all and the police. like I said, I got to find some altars. I don't know where y'all be going. Like I said, I don't know where the synagogue of Satan is. I don't know where that doorway is. I don't know where that red carpet is. Only y'all know that. But for the other ones that y'all sit up there and praise, I got to really find out, where those temples are, because I got to start making some offerings, because this is crazy. This is crazy. That is 100% crazy. That is diabolical. I cannot clearly hear you because your window is up, but we're able to clearly hear him. Oh my goodness. Did he not know that this was recorded? Did he not know or understand that he was being recorded while this conversation? I can't believe you can't be this stupid. I mean, obviously you can't, but I'm like, you can't be this stupid. It's like a part of me wants to believe he can't be that stupid. But yet we're here. Oh boy. It's incredible. Incredible. But now let's go to the next video.
Instruction? Yeah.
We got another black man again. I've had another video that I put up recently where somebody told me that, the story that I put up was old, and I'm going to just reiterate to a lot of people, any of the clips that you just so happen to see, these are new to me. As a content creator, somebody that more than likely takes in fields of content from all over, it's new to me. I can't, see everything, can't watch everything. So again, stuff is going to be new to me. It may not be new to you. It is what it is. But if it's new to me, it's probably new to a lot of other people. Right? But anyways, let's get directly into this video here and see what happens.
Because I didn't step out of car. What crime did I commit?
A traffic violation.
What's the traffic violation?
I already told you it was 100 feet prior.
So that's a citation. When do y'all pull a person out the car for a citation?
So listen, man, I'm asking you to step out of the car.
What am I stepping out the car for?
I'm gonna give you one more chance. Or I'm gonna say you're under arrest for obstructing, and then we're gonna go that route. You wanna go that route? And then you want me to roll 6 your little one?
Roll 6?
Yeah, because I'm gonna send you to the county.
Okay.
You wanna go?
Come on.
All right, so listen, man, just listen.
You just told me to get out. Now I'm trying to get out.
So listen, I'm gonna have you step out of the car. Don't reach for nothing. Just step out. I'm gonna pat you down. Make sure you ain't got no weapon on you.
You patting me down?
Yes, I am.
What? For a turn signal, right?
So listen, put your phone
what's your badge number?
1443. Put your phone up
there.
Okay,
y'all hear this. He's patting me down because for not using my turning signal.
Put your hands on top of your head.
Okay.
All right, keep your fingers interlaced.
Okay.
All right. Step on out. Keep
I
your
can
hands
step out now?
Yep.
Okay, you ain't gonna slam the door on me?
No, I ain't gonna stay in the bottom.
How you want me to get out specifically?
With your legs.
With my legs, right? Like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Swing your legs. Okay. All right. Turn around. Face this way. Just like this.
Watch this pat down though.
See this? Well, we're not using my turning signal. My rights is being violated.
Why is that?
Because you racist or something.
All right. Spread your feet for me.
Okay, how far? You want me to do a split?
Right there.
You want me to do a split?
What's that?
You want me to do a split?
Nope.
Okay.
All in the crotch. Look at that. Look at that. All in the crotch. Look at him. Now this, I gotta just pause it. Somebody gotta explain to me, for the white boys out there, what is your obsession? I mean, I know what it is because I got some books on it, but I'm like, realistically, what is your obsession? Because y'all really like sitting up there touching on black guys. I'm just gonna be real. Like, every single time I happen to watch some pat downs, y'all be really touching on black dudes. Like, it's like that's crazy to me. And I'm like, y'all really be making sure to like touch on certain areas. I'm like, bro, do you need to, have a conversation with somebody? Are you fighting with like some urges? Like, so because you fight with urges, you become a cop so that you can legally do it without anybody trying to question what it is that you into? Like, is that what it is? Because I really feel as though that's what it is. Because the amount of aggression that y'all be having when y'all be really wanting to get on top of a black guy when y'all arrest him is crazy. I'm like, that's a little bit weird. I'm like, the amount of aggression and hostility is looking something different here. It's looking quite weird. You're moving a little bit too much. You seem a little bit too excited to try to get somebody out of a car, to pat him down, to get him directly to the ground. and to get directly in their ear and start hollering some order seems a little bit weird and suspicious. I don't know why people aren't looking at this and analyzing this stuff, but I feel like a lot of people need to. Because like I said, I've also put out stories before where you've had black men be arrested and they have been assaulted. They have been assaulted the same way that women talk about having stuff happen. You've had guys, black guys, had stuff happen. I've covered stories like that too. Like I said, white guys, y'all gotta let us know what's happening. Because that's crazy. That's some diabolical work. I like I said, I don't know what this is. But let's continue.
Stay right there. Right there. Yeah. Sit right there on the front. No, not on the hood. other stuff going on. Just to let you know, that gun that's in your car, you're actually having active CCW.
All right, you too.
Now let me just freeze it real quick, right? So you heard the cop do all of that. That's about what we in here about, like 5 minutes. 5 minutes in, you heard the cop sit up there and say, "Ah, it's your lucky day, my man. We're gonna, have to let you go. There's some other stuff going on." Yeah, you right. There's some other stuff going on because you don't got nothing. You don't got nothing, and then you just wanted to sit up there and speak on the gun that he got, and then you see the dude in the background all happy and smiling that he was able to interrupt that man's energy, his whole day and everything, that he was able to get off on. "Oh yeah, I just rubbed on this black guy and I felt everything there, and I did this in front of his family and everybody else. I embarrassed them. I really put my authority and power directly on him. I really emasculated him." Right? Like I said, a lot of them boys, they get off on that. That's why he's sitting in the background, slowly getting into the car, smiling and watching. Like I said, and that's how I feel a lot of these cops are. A lot of these cops are the exact same way as the guy that you see right there, and that's crazy. That's crazy. Like I said, there's a multitude of reasons why he's smiling, none of which have to do with him doing the correct or good job. Let's continue.
Goofball. This nigga's a goofball. Look at him. This dude right here. People is crazy. Race. Oh, man, I can't wait to post this, man. Like, bro really just violated the fuck out my rights, and I'm glad I recorded this video. You feel me? Bro really just try to slime me crazy. Then gonna say, "I just want you to know that gun that's in your car, you got an inactive CCW or active CCW? You telling me I got a gun in my car?" Like, bro, you sound stupid as violated my rights to get me out the car, everything, bro. Like, these people is racist and corrupt, bro. This shit pissed me off so bad. Like, how far they really go and just play us for our rights and bro. Crazy out here, bro. It's always car 8 too. I'm obstruction?
Yeah,
because I didn't
step out of car.
What crime did I commit?
A traffic violation.
What's the traffic violation?
I already told you it was 100 feet prior.
So that's a citation. When do y'all pull a person out the car for a citation?
So listen, man, I'm asking you to step out of the car.
What am I stepping out the car for?
I'm gonna give you one more chance, or I'm gonna say you're under arrest for obstructing, and then we're gonna go that route. You wanna go that route? And then you want me to roll 6 your little one?
Roll 6?
Yeah, because I'm gonna send you to the county.
Okay.
You wanna go?
Come on.
All right. So listen, man. Just listen.
You just told me to get out. Now I'm trying to get out.
So listen.
Right? That's pretty much how the whole situation started. And we were able to sit up there and see the aftermath of everything. Like I said, that's crazy to me. That man got treated like that in front of his son for no reason, because the cop wanted to put his authority out there, his power. He just wanted to be free swinging for no reason. But I forgot there is a reason. That's because the cop is racist. Because these are the same people that always like to sit up there and say that, "Oh, I don't see race. I don't see color," and all of these things. Like I said, it's crazy. And again, I don't care if the dude had a weapon in his car or not. You wouldn't have known about anything if he didn't get pulled out of the car. What he has in that car ain't bothering nobody. Everything he has in that car, him, himself, and his son, he has something there for protection, because people like to jump and act stupid. He has every right to be armed, to be able to defend himself, his property, and the life of his child. He has that full right. But, whenever it is that black people want to arm themselves or defend themselves, it's a certain color of folks that got a problem with that. They feel that, black people don't deserve their right to be able to do it. But realistically, let me just be honest with a lot of people. It's not because they don't feel that black people don't deserve the right. It's a fear, because they fear that all of the things that they have done to us in the past, deep down at their core, they feel that we are going to in turn enact and do those exact same things to them. This is a deep rooted fear that a lot of them have. And the funniest thing is, if you look around at this moment in time, that's not what's happening. We're not the ones doing stuff. We're not enacting laws. We're not doing the regulation. We're not doing none of that. It's y'all doing it. It's self versus self. They've conditioned themselves at this moment in time to see black Americans as the villain, when realistically the villain has been present out there in the open and staring them in the face every single time they look in the mirror. But like I said, psychological warfare and being conditioned to believe something that is false, that's what happens. Instead of looking at the real threat, the real enemy, which is self, you decide that, you want to look at everybody else and to say that everybody else is basically against you. Crazy work. Diabolical. Diabolical. D-Money was like, none of them are racist until their daughter brings home a black guy. I mean, that was Hulk Hogan, when his daughter Brooke was either dating or seen dating somebody that was black. Yeah, that was pretty much her. And Hulk went all in. He lost it all that day. Lost it all. And this is the same dude that was on his own show, sitting up there blasting Jeezy in his truck. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But I'm like, I'm not really too shocked, because that's how they roll. They will try to present themselves as not being racist and all this other type of stuff. And you'll find out. So now we got another video by way of this black woman here. And I want to I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just go back to this brother here. Right. So for this video, let me just specify. He specifically stated, quote, I contacted a lawyer from Freedom Block. He got the full body cam footage and stuff, reviewed everything, but said it was unlawful, but it wasn't the worst. And he just filed a complaint. Right. Underneath another one, he said that I had consultation or talked with one, meaning a lawyer, and didn't hire one though. He didn't feel that this was a terrible situation, but he definitely felt that it was an unfortunate and misuse of power, but not a big case. So he got in contact with a lawyer or some lawyers, and nobody wants to represent him. I guess you got to get slammed on the ground. I guess you got to be halfway. Your brain got to be halfway working because of the things that the police did. I guess you got to be stretched out in a hospital bed unconscious, for lawyers to actually represent you on, stuff dealing with this. But like I said before, this is the type of stuff that black people in America got to deal with. And this type of stuff that we got to face. Nobody else has to deal with these types of issues. And like I said before, yeah, I do post videos, but like I said, nobody else has to deal with stuff like this, because as they always like to say online, if you're not doing anything, if you're not doing a crime, then the cops wouldn't be following you. They wouldn't be doing this and that. Like I said, they'll find every single reason and rhyme in order to give justification for the cops' actions in this video. Crazy work. But yet when the cops do it to them, oh, magically they're losing their minds. It's an injustice. Something has to be done. We all got to band together. We're all America. We can't allow this tyranny to stand. Right? It's that whole deal. It's crazy. 100% crazy. So let's go to something to help inform black Americans out here. And I'm going to put a little bit more insight on that slightly because of the area that I worked on a little bit after.
Speakers, what are some N-word equivalents or anti-black slurs so we can stay woke? And they delivered. First of all, remember that Spanish differs across countries, but anyway, here we go. Mayate, apparently they use this word in Mexico and El Salvador. So some people were like, oh, it just means June bug or it means dung beetle. But then others have said, nah, them's fighting words. It's just like saying the N-word. Cocolo is apparently a word that people use in the Caribbean. But some people say, oh, it doesn't have any negative connotation. But then others say, yes, it has adopted a negative connotation. So you got to listen out for tone and intent. Prieta or prieto is another word that doesn't always have a negative connotation in some places, but in others it does. So again, you have to listen to tone and intent. And then we start mixing words and you get prieto cocolo, which is used in some islands. But again, you have to listen out for tone and intent because some people say it's not negative and some people say that it is. Taking it back to Mexico, we have moyo. For some people, it just means black. Nothing more, nothing less. But then for others, again, tone and intent, it can mean something more negative. Couldn't find too much information on the word molleto or mayate in Puerto Rico, but it seems like it might have a similar meaning to mayate in Mexico. I'm just adding it here because one of the commenters put this in the comments on the last video. Now, those were all the words in Spanish that I received, but I also wanted to share a couple that are non-Spanish that also have negative meanings for black people that you should look out for. The word bakuku in Guam, thank you to the commenter who shared this. I couldn't find too much information, but if you are from Guam, would love if you could share some background on that word. Now, this last word, kalus, is used in India, and it's something that I actually learned a few years ago, but there is that TikToker who made a whole list of all the words that people use in India that are anti-black, so go ahead and check that. Hopefully this will help some of you navigate certain situations when you're traveling or at work. You can make sure to know whether or not you're in a safe space.
So we all heard that. We all heard that. I wish she didn't have the nose ring in, but I'm not going to focus in on it. it's just a pet peeve. But I could sit up there and say working with people that were from like South America, I've heard throughout the job, mayate, I've heard that, and I'm like, yo, what is that? I'm like, what does that specifically mean? I forgot what they specifically told me, but it wasn't. They were trying to say like it wasn't nothing bad or whatnot or whatever. And now I'm sitting up there, I'm looking at this video, and I'm remembering hearing people sit up there and say it. I'm like, like I said, this is why Black people need to learn different languages. This is clear cut why, so that we can know and understand what it is that people are specifically. And I want to sit up there and stress that I worked with people from Peru, Ecuador, people who are Dominican, had some Mexicans, like pretty much it was all over. And one of the main things, like I said before, one of the main things I remember hearing was mayate. I might be mispronouncing, but you get what I'm saying. She has a way better pronunciation than I do. Again, I'm American, so I have American accent and American pronunciation. But yeah, this is why, like I said before, when it deals with Black Americans, and like I said, nobody else got to deal with this. So specifically for Black Americans, always understand that everybody around the world has a negative word for you. They don't got this for everybody else. They have a negative. Every language on this planet has a negative word for you, but you don't have a negative word for everybody else on the planet. Pay attention. Nobody finds that suspicious. Like I said, everybody can come together and formulate a negative word to come at or talk about Black Americans, but Black Americans don't have the exact same words as everybody else. Like I said, people got to pay attention. Like I said, Africans got their own words for us. That again, for Black Americans, that should tell you something. But people don't want to sit up there and pay attention. Let me see. I guess that was, what is that? I guess that's what's supposed to be what this is very important or importa. I know I know I can read a little bit. Now, if you like actually wrote that in Spanish, I'll be sitting up and looking around. ¿Qué? What was it like? ¿Qué esta? Like, I don't know what to say. Tippy says you can speak another language. It's not easy. I tried learning Spanish. I mean, I took Japanese, but I don't know. It's been a minute. I can't. I used to be able to technically say some general things in sentences. Oh my god! Now I'm trying to like rack my brain over some stuff I used to say in Japanese, and now I'm trying to think Japanese, and now all I'm getting is like "como estás?" Like I'm sitting up here. It's a whole nother language, and that's not nowhere close to Japanese. What was that? Como Sayano? I forgot. I don't know why it's on Spanish now. Dear God. Shout out to Telemundo. The only thing I can pull right now is Konnichiwa. Was just like some random stuff. Konnichiwa, Ohio Gazumas. My pronunciation is dirt at this moment in time. The what was it? The Kokodeska. I used to know how to say like hi, my name is. I forgot. It's been a minute. I ain't even about to try to tempt fate right now. D said, yeah, the Bible says we have a byword on us, right? TB said that's ridiculous. Other races have a racial slur for black people, but not people who colonize them. Insane. D Money said, I mean, we can come up with comical slurs for the other groups. Jason said you, yeah. How you say it matters. Okay, I got you. What was it? Sham said, I know French. They have a lot of anti-black words. Like bambula. What was it? Oh yeah, Hawaiians got some stuff too. Even though I've shouted out and talked about the Hawaiians because of what's happened. Yeah, Hawaiians got stuff too. Like I said, everybody got something. That's why I keep trying to. That's why I always be looking funny where people always want to try to say that black Americans are racist. I'm like, how are we racist when everybody literally got slurs for black Americans? I'm like, how does that work? Everybody else can be racist towards black Americans, but the moment in time that black Americans just try to come up or say something, oh, you guys are the utmost racist on this planet. Blacks are the utmost racist. What? What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy work. Let me see. Miss Ivory said, yeah, my neighbors in Cali, they call me the slur, and I call ice on them every week. Ooh, diabolical. Timmy said the brother came up with a word for racist people who are anti-black. He said Negro phobia. Oh yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. And that only pertains to black Americans, Negrophobia. We are the only Negroes. Just to put that into perspective. Sham said yes, because black people are never thinking about people like they're thinking about us. Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. D Money said all the slurs in the world, but everyone wants to freely use the N-word. Yeah, and that's it. And you know the funniest thing is, I actually looked online, and they have like a full library of slurs and verbiage that people use all around the world. And I'm like, y'all got all of these words that y'all can use for everybody else, including groups can use these amongst themselves. But everybody's like, no, we don't want to use those words. We want to use the N-word. Huh? Y'all skipping over hundreds of words for this single one. Like, and nobody finds that suspicious? Nobody finds it weird that the whole world wants to use one word. Nobody finds it suspicious that literally the whole world wants to use one word, one slur. Again, people gotta start paying attention. This don't happen to no other group of people. This is only happening to black Americans for a very obvious reason. Everybody else knows something that obviously that black Americans don't. No other group out here has the whole world literally going against them. You're trying to tell them what they are and what they aren't. Nobody. Miss Ivory sitting up there laughing. Ew. Oh man. D-Money said the N-word is not even the best one. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of other ones. Like I said, they got it on is it on Wikipedia? Yeah, it should be on Wikipedia. They got a whole list directly up there. And I just like went through those one day. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I'm like, I did not even know that this exists. Carl said, y'all don't find that suspicious? Y'all don't find that suspicious? Y'all don't find that suspicious. D said, yeah, that's why people need to read the Bible, because we are the people of the book. Jason said, it's a cold world. That's bars. That's 100% bars. It's a cold world. Cold world out there. But yeah, that is pretty much actually it at this what is it, injunction or juncture during the live stream. I guess that is pretty much it. We did pretty good, pretty well today, guys. I will say, let me see what we got at the that came by way of both channels, I guess. That's not bad. About a good 1300. It's not bad at all. Setup then took about good 3-4 days directly off. Somebody said we African though. Hey, you know what? The way I put this now is that whatever people want to sit up there and call themselves or believe, that's what you do. I'm not throwing myself in there. Tippy says start checking your IG. I sent you some video. Okay, I got you, Tippy. Matter of fact, because you might have sent quite a few up there, I can throw those on the I can make those into a video. So I got you. I can do that because remember, you gotta, depending on what's going on, you gotta do some editing. Just like the video that I gave you guys before where the it's raining outside. The guy wanted to fight the pirate usher. Did I, matter of fact, let me just see something real quick. Did I post that into another video? Let me just make sure. Also, shout out to any and everybody who has subscribed directly to the platform. We are currently almost at 40K. Well, we're at 40K, but we're about to hit that nice 100 directly on there. So, shout out to you guys for pulling directly through to the platform, any and everybody who has subscribed. Let me see what it's looking like on the other side. Shout out to Adele. All right, so it's not bad. It's about a nice $2,000 sitting directly there for the views. That is great. I'm just trying to check real quick to see if I gave you guys that as a I forgot. So okay, so there's a video. I wasn't able to upload this. In order to put it on my Patreon, I gotta upload it a different way. So there's a video that you're not going to really see directly on YouTube, and it has to do with a Pirates game, and it has to do with a black security worker that wanted to basically defend a female worker. He ended up being like laid off, or he might be fired. I'm not sure, because the two white gentlemen were deciding that they wanted to harass a female concession stand worker. The black worker saw it. He decided to draw the attention from her over to him, which he successfully did. And inevitably, a scuffle took place where the worker had to defend himself because the white patron, right, decided that he wanted to use a biological agent upon the black worker. He wanted to haktua directly on him, and a scuffle broke out. And you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and somebody had a busted lip, and I can tell you it wasn't a black security guard. And then after that took place, the dude kept doing the haktua a few more times, knowing the fact that his mouth is busted. So you can look directly at the shirt of the security guard, the worker there, and you can see red dots and everything on his shirt. Again, crazy work. And the moment in time, he wanted to then start trying to portray himself as a victim once the police rolled up. And other white people there were not, in a sense, really trying to protect the worker. Other people were trying to tell him to just go elsewhere. And I'm like, dog, the dude was defending himself. He did two good things. He defended that woman that was being harassed by these two dudes, and then he also defended himself. But yet, like I said before, the only thing that I'm learning from situations like this is that if you're black, you might as well just do whatever, because nobody is going to actually defend you, and you're not going to be seen in a good light, even if you are doing this in the best interest of somebody else and you're trying to defend them. it's just not going to work out. Like nobody's going to defend you, even if they're sitting there watching. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. Diabolical. Tibby said, I'm trying not to argue with strangers online, but Mexican female almost had me calling. Who are you talking about, Tibby? Yeah, lunch in the comment section. Send up to laughing. Tibby said, since she said free speech. Oh, wait a minute. I do have another video. Wait. I forgot. I gotta make sure though. Because I don't think the word was actually used. Matter of fact, I gotta upload it real quick. Gotta just upload it real quick. Just so I can check what it's looking like. But yeah, also much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody that's here currently at this moment in time. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Hopefully you guys are having a good great day. And also much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of my moderators that are currently here with us in the chat. Much love, respect, and appreciation. The other thing too is we also got a new pope that was elected. I don't really care for it because I don't really care. But yeah, just putting that, directly out there. Oh, almost played that Kanye video. Don't want to do that. That would have been all. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So I think, because they got the captions down there anyway. It don't matter. So I'll just throw this one directly up. This is from the Piers Morgan show, and the white girl that's up here, I remember her being a trade wife, and some of the videos that she did, and she's one of the women talking about that she supports the woman I've been reporting on for about like a week now, if not a little bit more, by the name of Shiloh Hendricks. And she is stating that she is all like, whenever when it deals with like calling black people something, magically everybody's like, yeah, I support free speech. I support free speech, free speech, free speech, free speech. Right. So let's just listen to this insanity.
Support a white racist.
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in the country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
Mm-hmm. I do, quite frequently.
You use the M-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, well, if you use the M-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Right. Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist?
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
Right. Oh, we got Miss Anderson in here. Oh, the Ducker and the Dodger when it deals with playing games. I can't believe this. Now she shows up. I can't believe this. Look at this here. What is up, Miss Anderson? Gotta call you out. What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. We ain't heard from you in a minute on this channel. Let me tell you, been ducking and dodging, dodging and ducking, ducking and dodging. But yeah, this trade wife right here is crazy. She said, "Don't start. Don't start what? Don't start what, man? Some crazy work. Try to sit up there and hit people up to sit up there and play some Call of Duty. Nothing left on red. Diabolical work. Crazy. Insane. But yeah, the lady that you saw there, Trey Wipe, yeah, she is on TikTok too. And funny enough, because she wanted to bring up Shiloh Hendricks, right? She's currently sitting at 756K. And I'm guessing that something else actually happened on the platform, because at the moment you can't see the names anymore of the people that donated. And I can tell you why you can't see their names anymore, because people were having racist, derogatory slurs as names. So now you got Go Sing Go. They actually had to step in and they were like, all right, we're not going to allow them to, put names directly up there. Like I said, you're seeing you got 30, you got over, I'm sorry, let me say not 30. It's not 30K yet. You got 28,568 people who donated directly to her. And the greater majority, 95%, 95%, if not more. A matter of fact, I'm just gonna push it. 99.9% of those people that left donations, they had racist slurs, derogatory names, and everything that you can think of as the name directly up there. So this is why if you go to the Go Sing Go, you see everybody's name as anonymous giver. Because I'm looking at it right now. Because I remember I took some snapshots of some of the names that were directly up there, and I'm like, oh, y'all messed up again. But like I said, this is the way that they want to sit up there and move out here. Like I said, I love the honesty. I 100% love the honesty, and I want it to keep happening. Let me see. Trying to see if I can find something real quick. Austin McCaff's father responds to Carmelo Anthony's, I guess, representative, I guess. The Independent states that MAGA justifies turning the N-word woman into a folk hero by blaming Carmelo Anthony. Yeah. Yeah. So wait, what was happening? So Mark Lamont angrily shuts down Piers Morgan's request for the white woman to use the N-word in front of him. No, let her do it. Let her sit up there and do it. Because I'm sitting up there, I'm looking at her. So you got the fair skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. Yeah, let her do it. That is for when it deals with white people. That is their god, right? That is their ideal, look. Historically, if you tend to, look at stuff. So let's see here. Oh, actually, hold on. I think something like really must have took place. Like Go Sing Go had to, I guess they did this all over the place, because even when it dealt with Carmelo Anthony's Go Sing Go, they also made it's the names are anonymous as well too. Let me see. So I'm trying to see. Yeah. Oh, so they had to. So wait, did they just have to do that all over the platform? Okay. Because I had to go to somebody else that had nothing to do with it. And I do sort of see anonymous, but I see names at the same time. But yeah, when it's dealing with the Carmelo Anthony Go Sing Go and the Shiloh Hendricks, yeah, all of that says anonymous. So yeah, something, yeah, they had to I guess they really had to step in and do something there. Yep. You can't see the comments under there either or anything. Yep. It's crazy work. It's 100% crazy work. Yo, Ollie, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Gail said, I heard that PBS held my youngin down when cable would get cut off. Hiding names and hiding their identities. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I said before, and then she gonna sit up there and lie and be like, oh yeah, I use it all the time, actually. Do you use it around black people? Actually, yes. No, you don't. What black people use it around? What? Where? Your blonde hair, fair skin, blue eyes. Where do you go that you're just around black people using this? Like I said, I get tired of y'all lying. I get tired of y'all telling these tall lies and all this other. Like, yo, that is some crazy work to sit up there and tell a bold-faced lie such as that. Man, somebody would have slapped the soul out your body. You ain't doing that. She knows she ain't doing that. Let me see. Let me see something real quick. Said to test him. Yo, stand up. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? What is going on? Sham says she finna get a lot of hate. She already been getting that. Yo, where's Miss Anderson at? Yo, you still in here? Let me, because I saw her reply to Gail, so she got to be still here. She should be at work. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna have to let people know about themselves. Tippy says she might do it to Candace Owens. You know the funniest thing is, oh, okay, you still, yeah. I'm gonna. Are you at work? Let me know. Let me know if you're at work. Cause you're lucky I don't sit up there and call you to put you on live stream right now. Because it seems as though this is the only time that we here at this channel can get in contact with you. That's crazy work. Diabolical. Yeah, at work. Look at this. Diabolical work. Diabolical. Ain't do no TikToks. Ain't been doing no IGs. No YouTube. Ain't been streaming nothing. Crazy work. But you got the newest systems though. Hack said diabolical heathens. Yes. Bars. Carl said, remember the Byron from Fresh and Fit? Got some photos of him all over with like white dudes. Probably explains attitude for women. I seen the photos as well too. You said you can call Tyrone. Word. Hold on. That's what we doing? That's what we doing. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. This is crazy. Now I gotta sit up there and treat this like it's Twitch. Start just randomly doing stuff now. Let me see. Sham said, LOL. He just going to call you a hacker the whole time. Not see. Well, not completely. Now I sat up there and said before, because we done played on Xbox, and let me see. Yo, place and novelties. Much love, respect, and appreciation for the $5 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, much love, much love. Wait, was that? Oh, that was 54 minutes ago. My bad. Sorry if I didn't actually get to that directly on time. But shout out and much love for the dono. Much love, much love. Actually, no, I wouldn't call her a hacker all the time. I just know that wasn't her playing Call of Duty. I can tell you that. Let me see. Somebody said y'all defended Carmelo Anthony. Y'all defending a father that make it make sense. Yeah, we can make it make sense. Firstly, Carmelo Anthony, I stand by what I said up there and stated. He defended himself just like the other kid, Allison, defended himself, quote unquote. I'm sorry, he didn't defend himself. He was actually actively trying to go after somebody. Ramirez and Allison were supposed to have a fight, and Allison decided that he wanted to bring a weapon to a fist fight, and he ended up taking the life of Ramirez. That wasn't self-defense. He did that multiple times. Carmelo Anthony was sitting directly underneath the tent. It was raining directly outside, and you got these two burly Caucanites, football players, both almost together, equaling up to like 300 to 400 something pounds, versus Carmelo, who is a hot 130, decided to boss up on him and try to tell him, "You don't belong here. Get about the seat. You need to move." And the scuffle took place. Carmelo defended himself, and it is what it is. The father, who ended up losing the life of his son, there was some footage, or at least a picture of the body camera, of which the cops were basically stating that, oh, the kid sat up there and pulled a weapon out on us. He was pointing something at us, da 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 da. But magically, when you look at the footage, at least the picture that's there, you don't see what it is that the cops are talking about from their angle. The father was distraught. The cops ended up taking the life of, his son, and you got a distraught parent. In those moments and times, you don't know what a parent is going to specifically do, especially when it deals with their only child. So, yeah. Like I said before, you saying under a tent. Obviously you never ran track. I've been under both tents. I've been under the tent for my school, and I've been under the tent for the rival school that we've played against. And at no point in time was anybody bossing up on me, telling me that, oh, you don't belong here. You shouldn't be sitting here, because there are no names. Like I said, that's how I know that a lot of y'all never ran track. There are no names. There are no names. There are no names. Like I said, I've literally done the exact same thing, and ain't nobody roll up on me trying to tell me something. If anything, it might be a teammate or a coach, but like, yo, it's your turn to sit up there and run. You got to do the batons. You're in second place right now. You got to, get in your spot. Like I said, it's crazy work. It's diabolical in nature. You said, so you're defending him. I'm saying that the father is distraught. He's emotional. No parent knows what they're going to do in a situation such as that. He's a distraught parent that lost his child. That's the only thing I can tell you. Because you do realize that these are athletes, correct? And we're talking about a tent that is directly on the field. And I'm correlating that with me being in high school and running track, and we have the exact same tents set up so that people can sit down from the opposite schools. And I'm relaying to you, as a person that has done this, that ain't nobody tell me that I wasn't supposed to be under said tent and told me to move. Like I said, there are no seating arrangements. You can sit there if you want to, because in a lot of instances, people know people from other schools. You said typical response. I guess whatever you feel. Whatever you feel. Whatever you feel. Like I said, and as I've listed directly on this live stream before, I've shown off a multitude of stories that fit directly into the whole instance of the Carmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf situation. And oddly enough, the only thing that people want to talk about is that situation. But I listed 4 very similar situations and one of which is pretty much the same. And magically, I get nobody got smoked for those. Nobody got the time. Nobody got the energy. A little bit weird. And let me be clear again, one more time. When they have these tents set up, students are directly out there on the field. And you'll have students that are either running or not running. Let me just be very clear. Just be very clear. Very clear. Very clear. Let me see. Let me just see something real quick. Let me see. Let me see here. I wish I actually had some more light directly in this room. Gonna be. Let me see real quick. Because I'm not sure if people actually realize it or not, but people on the football team and basketball team do also on their off seasons and whatnot run for the track team. Just gonna put that out there because I ran with both basketball and football, and then we also had those guys running as well at certain points, like when they didn't have to really do anything much. All right, we had them directly there with us, and they were sitting up there running for whatever spot that they had to run for. I'm a little bit confused when people roll up here, pull up to the scene talking, a little bit slightly confused. Because people try to make it seem like oh yeah, that was only specifically for the people playing the sports. No, it's not. You got to be a complete idiot. We had people there that were you had students there that were just doing stuff. They might have been passing out stuff, cups or whatnot or whatever, on both sides of the field, or depending on what school was basically hosting it. But yeah, it's crazy work. Crazy work. What do we got? I'm not even sure what he's talking about. Danger also apparent. Quick silent, the most dangerous you can encounter. He said we'll keep it real, all right. I mean, whatever. Like I said, I don't know what you're even trying to. Let me just highlight you real quick. I got you. Like I said, I don't know what your chances are you're white. So let me just make this very clear. I don't know what type of veil threat here and there that you're trying to make. Let me let you know something. You're going to be looking at yourself when this country falls apart. You're going to be looking at yourself. You're not going to be able to blame nobody else for the country being in shambles. Like I said, trillions of dollars in debt. Y'all got no smoke for that. Government officials basically robbing you blind. You don't got no smoke for that. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security basically getting robbed. You don't got no smoke from that. Your house is being pulled directly from in front of you. You got no smoke for that. Like I said, the most important things that white people should actually be focusing in on at the moment in time, y'all don't focus in on, because they can throw something directly in front of your eyes and you'll be like, oh, ooh, it's a shiny little black thing. Let me go over there. And then that's what y'all do. like little attack dogs. Y'all would just fly directly over there, and y'all be foaming directly at the mouth. Crazy work. It's diabolical in nature. It's crazy. Diabolical work. But, you know. And then the other thing I love so much is that, you know, you have people wanting to say a variety of things about you in the comment section, but yet you're still here watching. You're still here waiting for me to acknowledge you, to speak back to you, because that's how y'all get off. You could be focused on investing, building, doing all of the stuff that y'all say y'all been doing historically, but you opt not to do that. Y'all opt to come here. Crazy. But then y'all the ones that like to sit up there and say that we're obsessed with everybody else, that Black Americans are obsessed with everybody else. Crazy work. That's not what I see every single time I happen to go live. Sham said you got a month from now where you'll start to see starvation in America because of the mass economic failure. So not too long from now, they'll see the results of their races. Like I said, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. But you'll see. You'll see what happens. D said, will you be live tomorrow? Yeah, I can be live. I can do that. I'll have some stuff prepared directly for you guys to happen to go over and talk about. You said I have off work. Okay, I got you. Funny enough, you said that I was supposed to sit up there and what's the name? Wait, what was that? Oh, okay. Let me just see something real quick. Let me just do this on purpose. Just because. Yeah, I wanted to just sit up there and do that on purpose. On purpose. What was it? He said, cool deal, brother. Okay, I got you. Gail said there will be no more Jacob's trouble. Gail said their blessings is over. Tippy said, I never seen a Black woman proudly call a white boy a word. Never. I mean, yeah. Like I said, Black people are not really focused on stuff like that. That's not really how we move and do. Sham said, I'm tired of pizza, Seji. I got a free pizza and been eating it all week because I can only eat 2 slices. Wait, hold up. All right. I am back. Sham said, I'm tired of. Oh, yeah. He said, the word I hate the most is lazy. D Money said, hold on, what kind of pizza? Sham said, pepperoni and stuffed crust. That one is actually pretty good. If it's Domino's, it's all right. It's all right. They need more flavor to like the cheese, the stuffed crust. Tippy said, rappers need to start using that word instead of that, or use another one. I got you. Miss Ivory said, facts, because I tried to order something from Canada via Etsy and they said nope. The rep said that they don't know My stuff would get across the border because of tariffs, and the mail is shut down. Wow. D-Money said, you lost me with the stuffed crust. Carl said, well, Sham, just know you can always give the pizza away to a brother named Carl. Sham said, it's free. What you want me to do? Oh, man. I would have happily took that free pizza. Let me tell you, I would have scarfed that pizza down like no tomorrow. I would have easily sat up there and did that with no problem. No problem. But yeah, pretty much that is it. I ain't gonna try to, talk you guys' ear off, just running off saying nothing, at this moment. I got some choice words for some people sitting in the background right now. That's some choice words for people. But yeah, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody that's here. We will have a live stream for tomorrow. I got to make sure to get my sleep directly in order because I've been playing. I was gonna say Risk of Rain, not Risk of Rain. I've been playing Towerborn with Sham and Officer Haku, so my sleep has been a little bit off. Been slightly no life in that game at the moment. Sham said, "Are you playing today?" Yeah, I'm playing. Sham was like, "Wait a minute, we're not done yet." Pink said, "What time is the live tomorrow?" I gotta figure out a time. What is it's Friday? It's gonna be Friday, right? I want to point towards the normal, which would have been probably like 12. But it'll probably be during, I want to say it'll probably be during like the afternoon. It will probably be during the afternoon that we'll have that live because it's going to be a Friday and everything like that. So, be able to do it like that. What is up, Pink? D said, thanks. I got to rewatch this after work. I missed a lot. Sham said, okay, I'm going to garden for an hour and we can play. All right. D Money said, I actually got a YouTube notification that you're live. That's crazy. But see, that's how it normally works. And the craziest thing is that we've gotten an influx of people directly to the platform. And that's how we got to 40K. And even with that influx of people, y'all still not getting notifications. It's crazy work. Tippy said, I'm sorry, Seiji. I'm not like them. I can't be. I apologize for using. Tippy is hilarious. Let me tell you something. D said, cool afternoon. Sham said, I didn't get it till I stalked. Miss Anderson said, I got the notification late. Yeah, that again, that's YouTube playing with the notifications and everything, which again is crazy. And there's nothing I can specifically do about that at all. I mean, the Discord does say or let people pretty much instantly know when I go live. So I guess that is technically the best way for people to know that, hey, Sedge going live by having Discord and having the notifications directly up, because YouTube ain't gonna do it. Obviously, they're not gonna do it. And yeah, I'm probably going to upload the video that I wanted to post. I'll probably just upload it either to IG or on Patreon because I can't put it directly up here because of problems. So, we'll be figuring out. Like I said, I got a video up there for y'all. I wish I could have actually posted that, but can't specifically do it. Maybe I might have to do the news version of it and then, slide in whatever I was going to sit up there and state. Might have to do it that way. But yeah, again, much love, respect, and appreciate to any and all of y'all currently here at this moment in time. D Money said I always get the Discord notifications. Yeah, that's the one thing I love about Discord is that there is pretty much no delay on you guys actually knowing when I'm going live or whatnot. It'll just show up. Where is that was somebody else. Yeah. But yeah, that's the one reason I do like Discord. I do have it directly on my phone as well too. So if I happen to go live, usually I will get a Discord notification on my phone letting me know that, hey, yo, your channel is now live and yada yada yada. So So again, if people want to, want to know if a brother's going live, hit up that Discord. You can, clearly hit that up. We also got some people that be in there, here and there. Discord is not as live as it, as it once was in the great pinnacle of the channel, but it might get back up there one day. But that is pretty much it. And a brother's about to go probably figure out some food situation and different things of that sort. And put some videos together for you guys. And yeah. So enjoy y'all Thursday. Have a great day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for pulling up and showing up. Shout out to anybody who is a member. Shout out to all my members. Shout out to all my moderators. Shout out to anybody who has donated directly to the channel, including trolls. Shout out to any and all new subscribers as well. And yeah, love y'all. So again, I will see you guys a little bit later in the next live stream. What did Tippy say? She said I might go on Discord and post wrestling content. Yeah, you can sit up here and do it. I think what we'll try to also do as well too is have a section for wrestling. I'll probably put one of those up there so that you can have like your home where you can just post everything wrestling and stuff like that. Tippy said joking. Nah, she wasn't joking. Shan was like, Oprah trying to lay low after that Hawaiian stuff. Yeah, she is. D Money said, and shout out to the regulars. Yeah, and much love. And well, technically, I consider the regular people the subscribers because I pretty much feel as though that they've subscribed to the channel. I could be wrong, but that's why I don't really say regulars because I pretty much figured that everybody that normally is here every day subscribe to the channel. So, but I get you. Shout out to the regulars. But yeah, enjoy y'all day. Go order some food. Go have some fun. Get your feng shui in order. Spend time with yourselves, your family, and catch up on some anime, some movies, and things of that nature. And I will catch y'all on the next video and live stream. Peace out.